My boyfriend found his billionaire biological parents through a family search program. With outstanding looks and parents' investment, he became a hot new star overnight. But I, the lover who has been with him for 10 years, have now become a stain on him. He was afraid that his parents would find out that he was gay and kick him out of the house. I don't care because I'm dying. 01. I will marry you. I leaned against the dirty wall of the old alley, blew a long puff of smoke, and looked at him calmly. The young man in front of me was stunned and held my hand, which was covered with cigarette ash. He solemnly hung the iron ring of the electric car key on my finger. Tyler, this is my betrothal gift. You decide where we go from now on. I laughed too. You can go anywhere, but I won't stay here any longer. After 10 years of drifting in Beijing, we are still in such a miserable state. At that time, I thought I should just leave. In the future, we will go to a place where the pressure is not so great and build a good home. But within 2 days, he was found and brought home by a billionaire who was looking for his relatives. In order to compensate him, his family invested in several big IP dramas in which he played the leading role. The dream of becoming a star that we both worked hard for 10 years to realize was realized so easily by him. I was left hiding in the dark and damp basement and never called him again. On TV was the launch interview for his latest idol drama, and he was looking at his leading lady with a smile. I sold my old electric car and used it for road money. That's all, Aaron. I'm leaving now. 02. Aaron and I were classmates in college in the same grade and were roommates. Most of the students at Beijing Film Academy are quite wealthy, and not many of them live in the dormitories. There were only 2 of us left, and we nodded to each other and said hello. He shrank his neck and told me his name was Aaron. I asked him in a familiar way, "How can you call yourself Aaron when you look like a handsome young man?" He smiled shyly and turned back to spread the quilt. Actually, I am quite handsome, but I still look a little rough compared to him. Unfortunately, the market situation at that time was favorable to me, so I stroked my hard stubble and didn't take him seriously. He was a timid man. After making the bed, he turned around and asked me hesitantly, brother, do you want me to lay it for you too?" I put my arms around his neck. "Aaron, are you afraid of me?" He waved his hands awkwardly, and I smoothed his shiny black hair. "I'm not the type to bully people. My name is Tyler, so you can call me Tyler." He looked at me with tears in his eyes. "Tyler, I saw that you had trouble putting the quilt on, so I wanted to help you." I touched my shaved head with some embarrassment. "Yeah, not really. At that time, there were no beds with desks underneath, only iron beds. Since there were just the 2 of us, we naturally stayed in the lower bunk." Aaron was quite skillful with his hands. He just stretched out his hands and shook them, and the sheet was put on. The quilt was neatly folded into a tofu block and placed at the head of my bed. Like Aaron, clean and tidy. 03. I don't know why I've been feeling a lot more sleepy lately. Took me a whole day and night to wake up. I realized that I hadn't even taken off my thick cotton coat and slept in it all night. No wonder I don't feel tired at all. After I paid the rent, there was only a few $1,000s left in my bank card. Where can a few $1,000s go? I haven't had time to figure it out. When we were researching where to go, we thought it would be too cold further north, and Aaron, who is physically weak, wouldn't be able to handle it. After all, he couldn't even survive the winter and caught colds again and again. The rainy season in Jiangnan is too long, and Aaron might get a rash, so he decided not to go. It's too hot further south, and Aaron is allergic to ultraviolet rays, so he can't go. With such a pretentious person around, there are too few places suitable for us to settle down. Now I don't have those worries anymore. I cleaned the house and leaned against the door frame to say goodbye to this little house where I had lived for 6 years. I took all the photos of Aaron and me. It's not because I'm reluctant to let him go. It's because Aaron is so famous now, and I'm afraid the next tenant will recognize him. If he uses me as a handle to slander him again, I would be committing a real sin. In other stories, the wives of wealthy families would come to my house and throw me a check, asking me to leave her son. As for me, no one even knows I exist. A billionaire. This is a fate that he and I could never have imagined in our wildest dreams. 04. I dragged my suitcase out of the shabby building. "Tyler, Aaron has been very popular these days. Didn't I say I'd give you some supporting roles? Chu Jean, who was upstairs, was eating melon seeds and leaning against the external air conditioning box and asked me. I raised my head and smiled, then shouted to him, I don't want to do this anymore. After dragging the box a few steps, I raised my head again. It's a ditty. Took me a while to say, pumpkin seeds are too high in calories. You still have to act, so eat less. No one knows about my relationship with Aaron. A few years ago, I was selected to play the third male lead in an anti-Japanese drama, and Chu Jean played a little Japanese soldier. Aaron had no movies to shoot at that time and was just sitting around doing nothing, so I called him over to play the Japanese soldier as well. He has a fair complexion, so I just smeared his skin with dirt. Chu Jean was very outgoing and came over with a handful of melon seeds in his pocket. Tyler, is this your brother? I looked at Aaron's clear and teasing eyes. He scooped up a handful of black ash and smeared it on. Yeah, I fuck my brother. Aaron was overjoyed and kept calling me, brother, brother, Tyler, my real brother. At that time, I also thought that good days were coming. I stayed in the basement with Aaron and made a solemn promise. Aaron, if I have a bite of meat to eat, you will have a bone to gnaw on. You bastard Tyler, make dumplings with your meat and stew soup with your bones, or I won't follow you. I laughed and hugged him tightly. Unfortunately, due to the later editing and scheduling, we missed the era of anti-Japanese drama. The Capitol withdrew and my film was shelved before it even had a chance to be released. 05. I found a bus to the train station. Along the way, I looked at the phone in my hand, pausing on the last chat history between Aaron and me. Tyler, there's a discount on pork bones at the market today. I'll make you some soup when I get home. Just now a family search program called me and said I was a missing child. Brother, did you sign me up to be a guest performer? Hurry, hurry, hurry. What kind of personality did you give me? You're still calling me. Should I cry or curse? Tyler, Tyler. I was filming a movie at the time, carrying a big sword and following the male lead back and forth. I only saw the news after it got dark. I signed up for it, but I didn't know how to reply to his message. The video of him and his biological parents crying with joy appeared on Weibo earlier than my WeChat box popped up. Billionaire. My Aaron has finally turned over a new leaf. He is an orphan and has been pretending to be indifferent for 10 years. 2 months ago, she got drunk and cried in my arms. He said he wanted to have parents, no matter if they were disabled, poor, or whatever. He said he could accept it all and was willing to serve. I felt so distressed by his crying that I filled out his information on the registration form for the family finding program while he was sleeping. Tisk, it's quite efficient. Alas, after thinking for a long time, I decided to just delete and type some words. Aaron, I'm leaving now. I haven't decided where to go yet. Just be a star. Wrong. I deleted and rewrote it. Aaron, you are weak. It's almost autumn, so wear more clothes. Also pay attention to what you are allergic to. No matter how delicious the mango is, you can't eat it. I deleted it again. Finally, the bus arrived at the station slowly, and I didn't even send the message. I'm leaving, don't worry. I made up my mind in the 5 seconds it took me to get off the car, and I even bumped into someone when I put my phone back in my pocket. I'm sorry. Tyler, 06. I didn't quite recognize her, but she enthusiastically pulled my shoulder and insisted on having a meal with me. Tyler, this is Jessica. Only when she got to the dumpling restaurant did she take off her hat and mask. But I still felt a little strange until she sighed and made a stiff face at me. I suddenly called out her name. Jessica, you are. She smiled nonchalantly. I had plastic surgery. I lowered my head and drank half a glass of white wine. Jessica is also my college classmate and has performed with me in several concerts. Although she was not considered a great beauty at that time, she was at least pleasing to the eye. She was tall and had long legs, and she was an eye-catching presence in the crowd. Now her makeup is better, but her spirit is gone. Showbiz, this is such a cannibalistic place. Hey Tyler, long time no see. Let's not talk about unhappy things. I saw on the news that Aaron went home to meet his parents. He's a billionaire. So this is considered a successful investment for you. I covered my mouth with the wine glass in embarrassment. If I had known, saying a few more words about the plastic surgery would have upset her. Fortunately, my cell phone suddenly rang and I quickly changed the subject. Jessica took small bites of the dumplings. Perhaps because she had touched her bones, she had trouble chewing. What's wrong, Tyler? I dipped it in vinegar. It's okay, cancer. Jessica was frightened by me and let out an "ah," then looked at me in shock. Is this true? Real? The text message was the follow-up results from the hospital. Last month's physical examination found that I had advanced gastric cancer, and this time it was completely confirmed. It's fake. Do I look like it? I drank another glass of wine. She burst out laughing and stabbed me in the heart again. Aaron is rich now. Let him find a specialist for you, just like in the novels, where the boss convenes all the doctors at home and abroad for a consultation for his wife. She made me want to laugh. Tyler, tell me the truth. Are you and Aaron in a relationship? Jessica, she was the leader of a small group of Fujoshi in our class at that time. She guessed it right for 10 years and we denied it for 10 years. This time is no exception. No, just brothers. She sighed softly. It's been so many years, and you still don't admit it. I'm not in a hurry. At most, I'll ask you decades later. Don't tell me that by then you two still won't be in love or married, and will still be brothers for decades. I didn't answer, so she continued. Society has changed, and this is no longer a problem. A few years ago, there was a real BL drama that became popular both at home and abroad. Those two newcomers became very popular all of a sudden. If you were to film it with Aaron, you would definitely be better than them. It's fire. But what will be the outcome? The drama was banned before it even finished airing, and the two actors were expressly forbidden to appear on the same stage together ever again. I'm quite optimistic about them. When I look at them, I always think of Aaron and I gulped down 2 more glasses of white wine and my stomach really hurt. After eating and drinking, I wiped my mouth clean. Jessica, please don't tell Aaron about this next time. He doesn't like hearing rumors about us. Okay. Jessica ate slowly, so I motioned for her to eat slowly. I turned around and went to the front desk to pay the bill. 07. I bought a train ticket to Jujong, a hard seat for 20 hours. There was still more than an hour before departure. I sat in the square in front of the train station and looked at the tall buildings in the distance. The billboard of the international building still has Aaron's recognition video. This video is so well shot, with red lips, white teeth, and tearful eyes. No wonder this stunning look won her 3 million fans. I thought of Jessica's words again. Being a billionaire might be a way out given to me by God. What a pity. The pain from the half bottle of white wine I just drank was getting worse and worse, and I broke out in a cold sweat. A kind lady next to me came over and asked me, and I smiled and shook my head. He wanted to thank her but ended up vomiting a mouthful of blood. City, oh city, I couldn't leave after all. My case is an emergency, so I went straight to the emergency room and got the green light to jump the queue and start treatment. Although I was groggy, I still held on to the phone tightly. Can't call Aaron. Absolutely not. The doctor explained the situation to me seriously. 1 month, I only have 1 month left. The last money I had was used to pay for medical expenses. I roughly calculated that I only had a few $100s left. My life is so miserable. The older sister in the next bed was watching TV, and it was Aaron again. Her daughter peeled an apple for her and raised her eyes to her mother. This guy is so lucky. His parents are billionaires, and I heard he is the only son in the family. Didn't you see that he is the only one on TV these days? I guess we will have to watch him for the next few years. I forced myself to speak. This is not a good fate. No matter how rich and powerful he is, he still has to live nearly 30 years less as a young master. He has lived no better than anyone else in these years. This is a happy ending for him after all the hardships he has endured. The girl rolled her eyes at me. You are already in the advanced stage of stomach cancer. Can you enjoy a few days of good life? Do you still need to worry about him? I was stunned and smiled at myself. What this girl said seems to be right. 08. I turned the data on my phone on and off, and the chat interface with Aaron did not change. I still say, "I'm gone. Don't miss me." There is still a month left before I can see his first drama as a male lead being released. What a pity. I didn't have money to pay for a hospital bed, so I wrapped myself in a cotton jacket and left the hospital alone. I had never been sick before, and the only reason I came to the hospital was to take care of Aaron. Thinking about it this way, the young master's physique had already been revealed. It's not his fault that he's being pretentious, it's my fault that I didn't take good care of him. Thinking of this, I coughed and laughed, and found a bed for 21 nights at the back of the hospital. There are always dead people in this area, and those who dare to live here are all miserable people. Early the next morning, before I woke up, I heard a group of people chattering around the window. An old man behind me reported to me in real time, "Hey, there's a Maserati in this land." I squeezed over to take a look with amusement. Wow, a real Maserati. What's even more coincidental is that I also know the people in the car. Even through the car window, he was wearing sunglasses and a hat, but I recognized him at a glance. He waved at me, and he recognized me even though I was wrapped in my baggy army coat. 09. I finally got to ride in a luxury car in my lifetime. Hey, master. I suddenly remembered. What does it mean when you become rich and powerful? Don't forget each other. I covered my mouth and nose with my hands. The incense in the car made me want to cough even more. Are you sick? It's autumn now, and I have a slight cold. I asked him, "How do you know?" He was silent for a while. "Your medical insurance is linked to my mobile number." Ah. Aaron is frail and sickly, so we give him all our medical insurance and link it to his cell phone number. He drove aimlessly along the street and finally turned into an old alley. He lit a cigar and spoke to me through the smoke. "Tyler, I've transferred some money to you. Let's settle our relationship now. I don't think I have stomach cancer. My lungs, heart, and head also hurt." I rolled down the window nonchalantly. "How much money do you want to give me?" "5 million. Oh, 5 million. I suddenly became speechless, as if my throat was blocked. 5 million, that's 5 million. 5 million buys me 10 years. 5 million buys me all my love. But unfortunately, everything I have is really not worth 5 million. I suddenly got a little angry and took out my bank card and threw it in his face. "I don't need it. Let's part ways amicably. I don't want a breakup fee or hush money." I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty lost for words pretty quickly. The only two people in this world who know our story and know that two people loved each other under the Imperial City are about to die. Aaron threw away the cigar he had just taken a few puffs of. That was something he and I had always dreamed of. Now he doesn't care I can't smoke. He took my hand and put the bank card in my palm. "Brother, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. If you want money, I can give it to you. Any amount is fine. If you want to act, if you want to be a star, I will give it to you. Brother, can you wait for me a little longer?" He cried too, his face wrinkled with tears. In fact, we are not young anymore. We met when we were 18 and now we are both in our 30s. "Aaron, I don't want to be a star anymore. I don't want to stay." He wiped away his tears and handed me the bank card. "Brother, you can go anywhere with this money. Just live a good life. When I grow up and become successful, I will come back to you. Men don't shed tears easily, but I really want to cry, I really do. The thing I can't do most is wait. What would he do if he knew I was dying?" 10. I stopped being pretentious and asked Aaron to issue me an invoice, and went directly to the bank to withdraw 500,000 yuan in cash. I've never had so much cash in my life. When I arrived at the hotel, I just handed the money over to the front desk. The beautiful lady who registered for me was shocked. "I'm so sorry." I generously took out a stack of money to comfort her, and carried the bag to a luxurious private room. Presidential suite. I really benefited from Aaron's help. 5 million. If I didn't die, I would probably be happy. After all, that is enough for me to live a life without worries about food and clothing. The redder Aaron got, the more scared he became of me. After all the accounts between us, I can blackmail him for the rest of his life. It's a pity that I'm going to die. Aaron is so lucky. I pressed the iPhone 6 again and again, and it was a little laggy, but it was still okay for looking at a photo album. In 2014, when the iPhone 6 was launched, Aaron took on a big job as a model to shoot sample garments. He earned 3,000 yuan in just 2 days, and took out his meager savings to buy me a mobile phone as a birthday present. 64G, 5288. I didn't blame him, I just hugged him tight. I can't bear to criticize the gift my lover bought for me with all his heart. He said, "Tyler has to use the best." We were in a dim basement, under a sign prohibiting open flames. I quietly lit the exploded lotus candle for a while and sang an ugly but cheerful song. There are also bright red birthday cakes and pink flowers. Aaron was recording me, and his voiceover was chirping, "Tyler, look at the camera. How come you don't have any sense of the camera at all?" He smiled foolishly. Today is December 13th, 2014. I, Aaron, hereby swear to give Tyler, a lifetime birthday. I want to give my Tyler the best gift. He will have a new iPhone every year, a big cake, and a candlelight dinner at a high-end restaurant. You bastard! How embarrassing it would be for 2 grown men to go there. Tyler, it's good to not be famous. If we are still not famous after we are 30, we will come out publicly. Screw the public order and morality. No one will hinder our relationship. I ignored him, closed my eyes and made a wish. Aaron leaned close to the phone and whispered, "Tyler, I love you." I tossed and turned listening to his whispered words. Morphine for my pain relief. Aaron, 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 Aaron. Surrounded by hundreds of Aarons, I gradually fell asleep. 11. The alleys are narrow and messy, and people who are not destined to be together will never meet each other in their lifetime. People who are not destined to be together will never meet again in their lifetime. I walked along the path we both took to school all day. At that time, I always liked to add a lot of chili oil to the spicy hot pot that was charged by the skewer. Because more oil means you get hungry slower. Aaron is not like that. He is too delicate and weak, and refuses to eat this or that. I mocked him for being a sissy, and he just got angry with me and took my plate to eat. I was the one who carried him to the hospital for gastric perforation in the middle of the night. Now I ordered another one, and after adjusting it, I looked at it for a long time, took out my cell phone and took a picture. If I eat this bowl, I'm afraid I'll live 3 days less. Save some time. The stinky tofu is still fragrant. There are fried noodles, fried rice noodles, and seafood noodles with 3 scallops and a shrimp. A bowl costs 18 yuan, and we always buy one and add an extra serving of noodles. You also need to bring a big bowl to take home to eat. Otherwise, it would be too ambiguous and too shabby for 2 people to eat noodles from the same bowl. The supermarket has a unique Womert smell. Maybe it's the smell of 2008, but it's very faint now. It's really, development is too fast. At that time, the director said that coffee could reduce swelling, so he and I came here to buy some. A can of Nestle coffee costs more than 70 yuan. After thinking for a long time, we decided to get up early and run a few laps outside the door instead of wasting the money. Later, I bought some household items, and when I checked out the bill, it turned out to be more than 200 yuan. For every 200 yuan we spent, we were given a bottle of instant coffee of a random brand. It was sweet and tasted like the milk tea we have now. It was really delicious. As for its ability to reduce swelling, both of us gained 2 kilograms. I walked and looked along the way, but no boss recognized me. Maybe I'm too inconspicuous, or maybe I'm old and I can't be recognized. I myself can't even remember what I was like as a teenager. 12. There was a new coffee shop around the corner, and I ordered a cup. It's not as good as those unknown brands of instant coffee. There were 2 female students at the door who kept looking at me, but I didn't care. Instead, I felt a little complacent. Sure enough, not long after I sat there, the 2 of them came up to me and asked me, "Uncle, can you add me on WeChat?" Suddenly my cell phone started ringing again, which saved me. That's Jessica's voice. "Tyler, I really wronged you. I'm so sorry. What's wrong?" "Ah, Aaron is getting married. Didn't you know?" I held the phone in a daze. The aftertaste of that coffee is really long-lasting, and now I can taste its bitterness. Why didn't he tell you about his wedding? All the classmates in our class have received invitations. Huh? Did I say something too much? No way. Then can I take another sip of blood sugar? I couldn't hear what Jessica was saying anymore, and I hung up the phone out of muscle memory. Uncle. I raised my eyes towards the voice and suddenly felt like talking. I'm gay and my boyfriend is getting married. The two little girls were frightened by me, and they hurriedly apologized and ran away. The huge coffee shop was so quiet that you could hear a pin drop, but no one looked at me. They were all busy with their own lives. It turns out that our self-righteous cover-up is of no use except hurting each other's hearts. No one cares whether we love each other or not. No one cares my boyfriend is getting married. 13. Turns out that coffee is also a stimulant food. I walked to the street, leaned against a tree and kept spitting blood. The doctor wanted to ask someone to accompany me, but I refused and paid for a nurse instead. I have to remind you again and again not to use your medical insurance this time. Fortunately, I remembered and carried the cash with me. I also lived in a luxurious single room, and the little girl served me tea and water. The doctor said that most stomach problems are caused by a bad mood. You have to be more open-minded. If you are in a good mood, you will live longer. I smiled and asked her, if you are not happy living, what is the point of living? She was stunned and asked me, Sir, you are so rich. Why are you still not happy? Am I rich? Of course. You can afford such a large ward and you can also afford to hire a nurse. Turns out that all my money was spent on this. It's really unfair for me to be said like this. You know the news about the billionaire who found his child? Do you think he is happy? You must be crazy. I don't even dare to think about it. I wish I had this fate. I remembered again how Aaron held my hand and cried. Is he happy? I guess so. But he got tired of cigars after 2 months. Please find me 2 of his movies so I can share in the good fortune and maybe I can get better too. The little girl did as she was told, but her face was full of confusion again. He only played some minor roles. I'll find you a clip. It can be put together into a 1-minute video. I agreed. 14. The little girl fiddled with it and suddenly asked me in surprise, Sir, is this you? You're an actor? No wonder you're so rich. I looked over in confusion, and in the camera, Aaron was holding a long knife, looking like a cowardly Jap devil. When the camera turned, I was wearing a long gown and looked like a decent human being. This drama was actually broadcast and no one told me. You're still the leading actor. I was even more confused because I was clearly the third male. She handed me the film clip and sure enough I was the male lead. But it is a drama with 2 male protagonists, and Aaron is the second male lead. A historical drama about the war against Japanese aggression was unexpectedly re-edited into a dual male lead movie in which Aaron and I battle wits and courage. Aaron's shots are obviously out of tune with the other people in the film. In the past 2 months, he has been reshooting this bad movie. That's good. After all, my image will remain forever after 100 years. Even in the same movie with Aaron. Although the rating is as high as 1.2. But with the capital supporting it, there is no need to worry about it being taken off the shelves. I tapped the screen and signaled to the little girl. Let's play this one. 15. So ugly that even I, the leading actor, felt drowsy. As a result, the plot in the dream was even worse. I accidentally dreamed of Aaron's wedding scene. He timidly took the hand of his heroine. Baby, from now on you are my wife. You are the first heroine in my movie and the only heroine in my life. What's even more terrifying is that I went to steal the bride. The heroine raised her eyebrows in anger. Who the hell are you? How dare you slander my innocence? Instead, Aaron's face turned pale and he called me husband in a humming voice. I got goosebumps all over my body and woke up in fright. It was pitch black outside the window, and the little girl was lying on the bed in the outer room, also asleep. I couldn't sleep, so I got up and checked my moments. Jessica sent me a bunch of messages. I glanced at them and was too lazy to reply. Neither of us have any fans, and Aaron shamelessly told me, there is one. We have a CP fan, Jessica. It's time for the real protagonist to step in and break up the CP, otherwise there will be backlash. I replied, "It's nothing. Aaron and I have always been just friends. Now that his social status has changed, I'm jealous of him and don't want to play with him anymore. That's the story." Oh. Jessica sent me an emoticon in response. "Then are you coming to his wedding? There should be a lot of media, and we can make a name for ourselves while the chaos is going on." It's not relevant to bring up this issue. I really didn't need to reply to her. Just as I was about to turn off the screen, another photo popped up in a dialog box. I clicked it hastily with shaking hands, and it was the wedding photo of Aaron and his fiancée. Oh, it turns out that the person he is going to marry is not the heroine. He's a rich second generation, a good match. Jessica told me. They're quite a good match, right? I'm going to ship them as a real couple this time. Broken. The forced removal of the CP brought punishment from God, and my CP fans turned into Aaron's toxic fans. 16. Their wedding is scheduled for November 11th. Jessica told me that Aaron's company was doing online trade and they didn't want to miss this business opportunity. How ridiculous. But it's not my face that's lost. What I'm going to lose is my life. The doctor came to talk to me about my condition early in the morning and said that it was incurable and I could only live for another half a month at most. It was around the time of their wedding. Aaron wouldn't think that I committed suicide because of love. If I did that, I would never be able to wash myself clean even if I jumped into the Yellow River. I asked the doctor if it was still necessary for me to stay in the hospital. The doctor was silent and told me to go wherever I wanted. I got restless again, staying up all night, squatting in Tiananmen Square to watch the flag-raising ceremony. It would be better to die early and away from their wedding. Don't wait until your wedding anniversary to find yourself wondering whether to celebrate your life with your wife or to pay tribute to your ex-boyfriend. Jessica messaged me again. She seemed to think I was her fan. I was also a fan of Aaron and his fiancée. They are going to get their marriage certificate today. Oh, to get the certificate. I have received it with him too. Go to the Chengwang bookstore, which is hidden deep in the alley. They sell marriage certificates, sisterhood certificates, mental illness certificates, mental retardation certificates, and bestie certificates. We each bought a certificate of stupidity for the other, filling in each other's information with great interest. The last one is here. Okay. For bright red marriage certificates. Really stupid. Or the brain-dead certificate is suitable for both of us. However, it has no legal effect and he cannot be convicted of bigamy, so he got away with it. As for the moral effect as a party involved, I am too lazy to pursue it, so let's just forget about it. 17. But my feet didn't follow my head, and I followed my heart and took the wrong path. I met Aaron again at the entrance of the alley. Aren't we going to get the certificate today? I'm married. I was speechless for a moment. He walked up to me and held me. I just went to the Civil Affairs Bureau and took out my household registration book. But the person there said that my household registration book was damaged and couldn't be stamped. I was still confused, and when I took it back, I found that the name on the household registration book was Aaron. I used a knife to scrape it off and filled in Aaron again. Yeah, Aaron. His token of love to me. Tyler. No matter what the road ahead holds, let's go together. I brushed his hand away. I can't walk anymore. I want to take a break. How long do you need to rest? He hooked his little finger around mine and swung it gently and slowly. I couldn't think of a good answer for a while. His tears fell down. The hand that was hooked around me was also shaking. Tyler, you blame me. I have nothing to say. But don't lie to me. How could it be? How could I get stomach cancer? It's me who's in poor health, and it's me who's not going to live long. You came to see me today just because you knew I was going to die? I'll go with you, Tyler. I'll be buried with you. Stop. I don't want to talk. You're willing to abandon me for fame and fortune and die with me? That doesn't make sense. Dying is much harder than living. You don't forgive me, do you? Well, I don't forgive you. Teen. With red eyes and choking sobs, he said to me, It's okay if you don't forgive me, brother. I owe you. I can't support you in your old age, but I will see you to the end of your life. He really has a good hand at calculating. After all the calculations, I only have half a month left to live. He served me for half a month and paid off 10 years of sin. Much better value than 5 million. But that's not necessarily the case. After all, he is a young master, and the nursing fee would be many times higher. I took him to the Malatang restaurant again, added the full bottle of chili oil on the table and pushed it in front of him. He ate without saying a word. I asked him, "Does your stomach hurt?" "I do too. It has been hurting since you left until now." He was crying in his bowl. I walked to the proprietress embarrassedly and gave her a stack of money to apologize. "I'm so sorry to have wasted your seasoning and to have put you in such a farce." I pulled him into the coffee shop at the entrance of the alley. He had a hat, a mask, and a scarf. The 2 female students who asked for my WeChat glanced at me and whispered, and I greeted them without hesitation. Seeing this, they joked with me, "Uncle, last time you said your boyfriend was getting married? Is it him?" Aaron was so scared that he wanted to run away. I nodded nonchalantly. "Yes, it's him." "How do you want me to scold him?" The 2 little girls probably thought I was joking, and they laughed and said, "What's the point of scolding him? It's better to get some money from him." I laughed out loud. "Your idea is sophisticated. I wish I had figured it out earlier." Aaron sat uncomfortably next to me, not moving. He dared to say that he would be buried with me, but he didn't dare to tell anyone else that we were in love. Because I can't really kill him, that would be breaking the law. But I can tell the world that Aaron and I have been in a relationship for 10 years, because it is true we really love each other. I pushed another stack of money to them as a thank you for chatting with me. As I was leaving, I said to Aaron, "It's nice to have money." He stood beside me and walked with me unsteadily. I asked him, "Where are you going with me?" He was silent for a while. "You decide. I can't control you." 19. "Who is that girl?" He was stunned and asked me, "Which one? Your fiancé? Does that count?" He lowered his head. "I don't know. A rich family. It's just like those movies we watched before." He stopped talking. "Aaron, you get married and have kids, but I die. Let's not hold each other back and go our separate ways. We've been connected for 10 years, but that's it. I will treat you. I will find the best doctor in the whole world to treat you. It's too late." I wanted to make a few more sarcastic remarks, but my stomach wanted to vent its anger on me and began to twist and ache. My eyes went dark and I fell into his arms. When the doctor saw me, an old acquaintance, he didn't give any further instructions. He waved his hand silently and talked to Aaron instead. The talkative doctor actually called Aaron secretly. It delayed my peaceful death. I was curled up in bed watching that crappy movie I hadn't finished, and Aaron was sitting at the head of my bed peeling an apple. When I wasn't paying attention, rain started falling from his eyes again. Rainstorm. Extremely heavy rain. I closed my eyes. "That's enough, Aaron. If you want to learn how to cry, go take a class and stop disgusting me. The doctor said that if I feel better, I might live longer. Do you want me to die sooner?" Aaron cut the peeled apple into small pieces and stuffed them into my hand. "I know. I won't cry anymore. It's useless." I held the fruit plate and Aaron's hand fell into my palm, shivering softly and densely. Finally, he fell on my arms and cried bitterly. 20. "I'm such a bitch, Tyler. I don't speak. I want money and status." He took my hand and placed it on the side of his face. "I thought you were right there. I'd give you money, and you could go out and have fun, and vent like a nouveau riche. I will bear the pressure, marry, have children, and become famous. Then, when my cheap parents die, I will come to find you." "No, Tyler, it's not good to have parents." In my hands I hold a small lake where it is always raining and covered with dark clouds. They want me to trace my ancestry back to my roots just to hype it up. "What do you mean by an only child?" "I have 2 older brothers and 3 older sisters, and 2 younger brothers and a younger sister. My mother is the principal wife, and I've seen 3 concubines these days. They didn't even bother to change my name. My mother threw me a card and asked me to give her a grandson as soon as possible so that he could inherit the family fortune. I spent the money to buy the copyright of the drama you starred in 2 years ago. It was so ugly that no one would watch it. But we were on the same screen, face to face. They don't know that we really love each other. I was hit by storms and I had heavy rain. I put my arms around his neck and rested my head against him. I don't have parents, and neither do you. We depend on each other for survival. Actually, I want to say this, but that's too selfish. Do I want him to die with me? I said, Aaron, you said that you can accept your parents no matter what they are like. Don't regret it. Aaron, you are right. What do people want in life? You want money, you want fame, both are right. No, no. He grabbed my shoulder blades and buried his head in my shoulders. I don't want it anymore. I don't want anything. Let's leave and find a place to settle down. We won't be actors anymore. We can just do odd jobs. There is no point in saying too much. I was so emotionally unstable that I fainted again. 21. When I woke up again, Aaron was still sitting next to me. He had a stubble on his face, and he wanted to tell me these nonsense. Tyler, it would be nice if we could wake up in that basement and nothing has changed. I sighed. It's already this late. Why are you still wasting time? Let's go, I don't want to die here. Before leaving, I put 2 stacks of money under the mattress for the doctor to express my apology for causing him so much trouble as a patient. Secondly, I don't blame him for being talkative. I'm very grateful to him. I said I wanted to see the sea, but there is no sea. He stepped on the accelerator and drove towards Qinhuangdao as fast as he could. There's a curse on me. I can't leave this place. Aaron, do you think I will die when I reach the border? Brother, please don't say that. I beg you. I laughed out loud. You're kidding. I don't believe that. Just drive forward as fast as you can. Aaron, our story is so boring. The shortcomings are reversed. I wish I was misdiagnosed. I wish your parents were actually my parents. I wish you knew I was sick and deliberately made me die early. That would be interesting, right? If you insist on saying there's something the audience hasn't guessed, there is. I don't want to die. But that's not right. Who would want to die? I can't fool the audience. Aaron, I don't know whether I walked out or not. I just remember that I didn't see the sea. I was still talking to Aaron, and I hadn't told him my last wish. I'm not without worries, Aaron. Couldn't tell you. My senses were drifting further and further away. There was a voice pulling my body back, but my soul was still drifting further and further away. Elder brother. I can't understand what those repeated sounds mean, and I can't read the emotions in them. I didn't know that my lover was calling me to go home. The body couldn't be placed in the car, so Aaron had to call the funeral home and ask them to send a car to take me home. This round trip will cost tens of thousands of dollars. It's really not worth it. Where is my home? Even if you leave my body exposed in the wilderness, I'm fine anywhere. Oh, Aaron is rich. He doesn't care about that. 22. In the spring of the following year, the grass on my grave had grown very tall. Jessica came to pay tribute to me. Turns out that Qingming Festival is here. She sat cross-legged in front of my grave, with her hair in fashionable big waves. When a beauty like this gives me flowers, I wonder how jealous the wandering ghosts would be of me. Tyler. I nodded and I was listening. Jessica, my CP fan leader, my fellow supporter, please tell me. Aaron came out. How weird. When you were alive, he was with you for 10 years, loving you, abandoning you for wealth, and then begging for your forgiveness. Your last wish was just that. But he pretended to be ignorant when he knew the truth and kept disappointing you. I was stunned and thought, oh, so they all knew it. That crappy movie is now your love movie. A lot of people learned about your story and rushed to Dubon to rate the film. It made me laugh to death. It was so bad, but it was rated only 9.8. You two have a masterpiece that is popular and well received. Well, the score was high, but it was also discovered. The movie was taken off the shelves, and Aaron pirated it and remade it himself, watching it every day in the basement you two had. What's the point? Oh, right. He's not married, so what biological parents? They're afraid that he'll go to the media to expose his family scandals, so they don't let him act in movies. They banned all the TV shows, movies, and interviews where he appeared. They said they wanted him to go home and take over the business, but that's not the case. Even if he starved to death, no one would care. What do you think he is trying to achieve by going through all this trouble? Is it because God feels sorry for you and wants to cure your illness? He must have misunderstood you, right? If he gives you money to treat your illness, and you two become a happy couple who don't have to worry about food and drink, can you break the impasse? Now he's in trouble. 10 years, so many opportunities, why didn't he dare to speak up? What's his identity? What burden does he have? Why doesn't he dare to admit it? Tyler, you're in heaven. Watch what happens to him. It's so strange. How does Jessica know everything? After I died, she became a lot smarter. She lay in front of my grave, hugged my tombstone and cried. Why do I have such a good relationship with her? I rubbed my eyes and looked carefully. Oh, it's not Jessica. It's Aaron who's talking.